you.
It's not too late for you.
Not so lucky after all, huh?
Alright, kicking off our list at number 7 is the latest installment in Ryan Murphy's chilling anthology, Monster, the Ed Gein story. If you thought the Dahmer season was dark, you ain't seen nothing yet. Charlie Hunnam completely disappears into the role of Ed Gein, the real-life ghoul who inspired psychos from Norman Bates to Leatherface. His performance is a masterclass in quiet horror. It's less about jump scares, and more about a deeply unsettling dread that seeps into your bones. The show does what this series does best. It's not just a procedural about the crimes. It's a psychological autopsy of a broken man and a cultural examination of America's sick fascination with its killers. The direction is meticulous, creating this bleak, suffocating atmosphere of rural Wisconsin that feels like a character itself. Now, I gotta say, this is a tough, draining watch. It's not for everyone. The pacing is deliberately slow, designed to make you feel trapped in the bleakness, and it doesn't shy away from the gruesome realities of the case, both real and imagined. It's far more of an art house psychological horror than a straightforward true crime doc. So if you're a true crime aficionado who can handle the absolute darkest corners of the human psyche, this is essential, gut-wrenching television. Coming in next is a movie I've been hyped for since it was announced, The Woman in Cabin 10. The setup is pure classic suspense. You've got Keira Knightley as a journalist on a luxury cruise who is absolutely convinced she witnessed a body being thrown overboard. The problem is, every single passenger and crew member is accounted for. No one believes her, and she starts to question her own sanity. This is a psychological thriller playground, and Knightley is in her element playing these tense, paranoid characters. The cast around her is just stacked. We're talking Guy Pearce, the amazing Hannah Waddingham, and Gugu Mbatha-Raw. Director Simon Stone is a pro at creating claustrophobic, high-tension drama, and setting it on a boat in the middle of the ocean is just a recipe for a white-knuckle ride.
A body in the water.
Something in your eyes.
I am not imagining this.
Something in your smile.
Listen to yourself!
Now, of course, this is based on a massive bestseller, so the pressure is on to get it right. Adapting a book that relies so heavily on the main character's internal paranoia can be tricky on screen, and I'm hoping it doesn't fall back on cheap tricks and really nails that sense of isolation and gaslighting. If you love a good locked room mystery that will keep you guessing until the very end, mark your calendar for October 10th. On our next pick, we have the apocalyptic political thriller A House of Dynamite. And get this, it's directed by the absolute legend Kathryn Bigelow. The premise alone is enough to give you a heart attack. An unidentified nuclear missile is launched toward Chicago, and the White House has minutes to figure out who did it and how to respond without starting World War III. This is Bigelow in her sweet spot, something like the unbearable tension of Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker, but condensed into a single ticking clock nightmare in the Situation Room. As for the cast, we've got Idris Elba, Rebecca Ferguson, Jared Harris, the list goes on. This isn't just going to be an action flick, it's going to be an intelligent, high-stakes political chess match, where every move could be the last one humanity ever makes.
If we do not take steps to neutralize our enemies now, we will lose our window to do so.
If we get this wrong, none of us are going to be alive tomorrow.
The big challenge for a film like this is to not get lost in all the military and political jargon. You need that human element to anchor the chaos, but if anyone can do it, it's Bigelow. I'm expecting this to feel like Dr. Strangelove played dead serious, with the claustrophobia of Failsafe and the modern, breakneck pacing of a show like Jack Ryan. For anyone who loves a smart, intense thriller that will leave your nerves completely frayed, A House of Dynamite looks like it's going to be an absolute explosion of cinematic brilliance. Alright, let's address the giant white-haired elephant in the room. Coming in next is The Witcher Season 4, and yes, Liam Hemsworth is officially picking up the Silver Sword as Geralt of Rivia. After the insane finale of Season 3, our trio, Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri, are scattered across a war-torn continent, forced to navigate new threats and forge unlikely alliances.
And then a life of peace to join me on a death march.
until the day you die.
Look, I'm going into this with an open mind. Hemsworth has massive boots to fill. But the source material they're adapting this season, Andrzej Sapkowski's Baptism of Fire, is phenomenal. It's less monster of the week and more of a gritty, character-driven journey, with Geralt forming a new, dysfunctional fellowship on a desperate quest through a war zone. This season has the potential to be the most compelling and emotionally resonant arc of the series so far, really digging into the found family themes at the heart of the story. Of course, the entire season's success will ride on Hemsworth's shoulders. The fandom will be watching his every move, but if he can nail Geralt's gruffness, world weariness, and dry wit, this could be a massive win. My only other worry is keeping the separate storylines engaging without the pacing feeling disjointed. For die-hard fans and anyone craving a dark fantasy epic, this is the must-watch event of the month. Creeping in at number 3 is a new docuseries that looks genuinely terrifying, True Haunting. The second you see the James Wan as an executive producer, you know you're in for some top-tier horror. This isn't your typical ghost hunter show with grainy night vision footage. The series combines first-hand testimonies from real people who've lived through paranormal nightmares with cinematic, high-quality reenactments. The structure sounds killer. One half, Eerie Hall, explores different locations with dark histories, while the other, This House Murdered Me, focuses on a single family's horrifying experiences in one plagued house. It's promising to deliver both raw, emotional interviews and the kind of slick, atmospheric horror that Wan is famous for. This is the stuff that gets under your skin because it blurs that line between a scary movie and something that could actually happen. The big balancing act here will be making sure the reenactments don't become cheesy or over the top, which can totally ruin the authenticity. But with Wan's team involved, I'm optimistic they'll nail the tone. If you're a paranormal junkie or just love a ghost story that will have you sleeping with the lights on, True Haunting looks like it's going to be the real deal. Alright, next we have the psychological thriller Ballad of a Small Player. You've got Colin Farrell as a high-stakes gambler drowning in debt and booze, hiding out in the neon-soaked underworld of Macau. That right there is Farrell in his sweet spot, playing desperate, broken men on the edge. He runs into a mysterious casino worker played by the one and only Tilda Swinton, who might be his only hope, but a PI is closing in to make him answer for his past. The director is Edward Berger, who gave us the stunningly brutal All Quiet on the Western Front, and we all know he can build an intense, suffocating atmosphere. And dropping that talent into a story where reality itself starts to blur for a man about to lose everything sounds like a perfect match.
The realm of the hungry ghosts is for people driven by greed.
This feels like it's going to be a slick, stylish, and deeply unsettling descent into madness. The only potential pitfall with these what is real type of thrillers is that they can sometimes get too clever for their own good and end up feeling confusing instead of compelling. But with this cast and director, I'm betting on a sophisticated, character-driven neo-noir. It sounds like the grimy, high-anxiety gambling of Uncut Gems, mixed with the moody, atmospheric cool of a Michael Mann film. For fans of smart, stylish thrillers that dig deep into a character's psyche, this looks like an absolute jackpot. And for my final Netflix release for October 2025 is The Diplomat Season 3. The end of Season 2 was an absolute bombshell that left me screaming at my TV, and I have been impatiently waiting for this return. For my money, this is the smartest, fastest, and most compelling political thriller on television right now. Kerry Russell is simply magnificent as Ambassador Kate Weiler, a brilliant woman constantly trying to put out geopolitical fires while navigating her impossibly complicated marriage to the chaotic and brilliant Hal, played perfectly by Rufus Sewell. Now, with President Rayburn dead and the calculating Grace Penn, played by the legendary Allison Janney in the Oval Office, the stakes have never been higher. Kate knows Penn was involved in the terrorist plot, and Hal is maneuvering to get Kate into the vice presidency. It's a political minefield, and I am here for every single backroom deal, tense negotiation, and shocking betrayal.
Apocalyptically dumb.
There is a chance it's coming out. If it does, it's catastrophic.
When all the facts are on the table, I don't look so bad.
Respectfully,
You look very bad.
This show is the perfect blend of the whip-smart, rapid-fire dialogue of The West Wing and the high-stakes international tension of Homeland. My only hope is that it maintains that perfect balance and doesn't tip too far into soapy melodrama, but based on the first 2 seasons, my confidence is sky high. If you love intelligent, character-driven thrillers, this is your Super Bowl. And that's the list, everyone. October is stacked, and Netflix is finally, for now, back in the game. What are you most hyped to watch? Let me know down in the comments. If you love getting recommendations like these and want to stay on top of all the must-see movies and series, do yourself a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video.